What's going on, guys? Tristan24 here. Welcome back to a video on the channel. Today I've got a few match week 34 predictions in the Premier League. On screen now will be the prediction league, of course. Tonight we've got a lot of games going on that have been rescheduled from previous match weeks. However, guys, don't worry. Once you've put your predictions in from that match week, I'll still add the points on for the prediction league. So do not worry about that, guys. However, you have another 10 matches to predict for this match week. We've got a few really interesting ones that could decide a lot. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you do, please drop a like and subscribe. It helped me out massively. And if you're wondering what amazing top I've got on, it's only the Swansea top. 110 years, one double. If you follow the Swans or the Championship, you will understand. The Swans have done a double over Cardiff for the first time in the history of the clubs. So that happened like 2 weeks ago now, but we got a top for it. On the back is the lineups, just to remember them, and the scorelines, of course. That we beat Cardiff 7-0 in aggregate over 2 games thus this season. So pretty magnificent. But anyway, guys, let's get into these predictions. Starting off at the Emirates on Saturday lunchtime, as Arsenal take on Manchester United. Last night, Man United were absolutely dreadful against Liverpool. Phil Jones is back in the lineup with Harry Maguire. Yeah, I know all the jokes that are coming, and you can see them everywhere on Instagram reels and everything. Arsenal, they're falling away for the tops four at the wrong time. Luckily for them, Brighton won last week, so there's no major difference between them and Tottenham. For this one though, I'm going to back the Gunners for 1-0. On their form, I would normally back Man United, but they've been dreadful themselves. So really, it's going to be a tough game. Won't be surprised if this is a draw, but I'll go 1-0 to the Gunners. Up next is Norwich, and they take on Newcastle. Newcastle, a completely different side recently. They're doing so good, and they'll get another win here for me. 2-0, or can Norwich get some valuable and much needed points, try and give them a little bit more hope of staying in the Premier League? I don't think so. 2-0 Newcastle for me. Leicester against Aston Villa is the next one. Aston Villa, pretty hard to call recently. They're not doing too good, but they're not doing too bad at the same time, I think it's fair to say. Of course, they didn't play last week because their game against Liverpool is sometime in May. And Leicester, they did play last week, but I think they lost to Newcastle in the last second as well, which is difficult for Leicester to take. However, of course, they move on, and I think they'll move on for 3 points in this one. I think they'll beat Aston Villa 2-1 at home. Up next is Man City, and they play Watford. Watford's still a glimmer of hope of surviving. However, against Man City, I don't think they'll pick up anything. And the title race is very interesting, guys. If everyone knows that. If you didn't, then watch the Premier League title race. It's going to be very interesting. And it will go down to the final day. I'm almost certain of it. For me, though, Man City 3, Watford 0 in this one. Brentford against Spurs is the next game. And Brentford, I underestimated them recently, but they did, of course, get a win like I backed them to last week. Against Spurs, of course, who were trying to chase down top 4. Brentford don't really have anything to play for at this moment in time. However, of course, they want to finish as high as they can in their first season back in the Premier League. For me, Spurs are going to win this one 3-1. Up next is Burnley, and they take on Wolves. And when I was looking at the previous matches between these two sides, I noticed that Burnley have a really good record against Wolves. They've won 5, drawn 5, and out the last 11. Wolves have only won 1. So Burnley, of course, they have sacked Sean Dyche, which is a massive move for the club. Maybe somehow it's the right one. I'm not too sure. But for me, Burnley are going to get a surprise win 2-1 in this one. If the form, the previous fixtures are anything to go by, then Wolves are in for a tough one this match against Burnley. Chelsea against West Ham is the next game. Tough to predict this one. Both teams hard to judge at this moment in time. West Ham, not very consistent. They did get a point last week against Burnley. And Chelsea, they can lose against Brentford, win, and beat PSG. Not PSG. Why did I say PSG? Because I'm thinking of Mbappe. Beat Real Madrid. I was thinking of PSG because Mbappe, of course, probably going to go to Real Madrid in the summer. But yeah, so inconsistent. But I think they'll get back to winning ways. Chelsea in this one, 3-1 win over West Ham. Brighton against Southampton is next to predict. Tough game this one, but so I'm going to sit on the fence and say a 1-1 draw. Merseyside derby next, Liverpool against Everton, and I do think Everton away from home are like a different team to Everton at home. So I do think they're going to lose the derby, unfortunately, but it's looking like they will stay in the Premier League, hopefully for them anyway. I'm going to say Liverpool are going to win this one 3-1. They were outstanding last night against Liverpool. This makes the title race so interesting. And the final game to predict this match week is Crystal Palace, and they take on Leeds United, of course. This is interesting. It could go either way, but for me, on player on player, I think Crystal Palace just edge it and have the better team. So that's purely why I'm going to go for them. And a 2-1 win over Leeds. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Leave your predictions down below for the prediction league for a bit of fun. Match week 34 now, which is insane. It's gone so quick, guys. But before you know it, it'll be at match week 38 predictions. And then we'll have a nice summer back in for a new season. See you in the next one, guys. Take care. Goodbye.